Don't look under the internet.
No way that we're gonna lose this.
Yes.
Yeah, we're actually
now
recording.
that you've said that.
You got the SD card in there?
SD card is
Hey,
in.
Hey,
we're on a roll. We're doing shit.
thank God.
We've done almost nothing wrong so far.
But we are recording, yeah.
We are recording, so there's plenty of time.
Welcome
To the internet.
to Don't Look Under
Tomorrow.
to Don't Look Under the Internet, where we're recording and we have a backup. And I'm a go.
And this should only be the first. This is the first recording.
Yes, this is the first. This is not the second.
This is the first.
We're not frustrated or slap happy yet.
I mean,
Again.
I'm gonna be
Although
there
that was
eventually.
really funny. I
Dude,
cried.
I was crying. Well, yeah, you couldn't function last week.
I don't laugh like that enough anymore. I'm a sad sap.
Doug, who hurt you?
You.
Yes,
Oh,
welcome
no.
everyone to Don't Look Into the Internet. As always, we have Mike.
I'm never introduced first. Don't you throw people off now. That's
Would
Jason.
you like to do it?
No,
That's Jason.
no.
Hello.
Keep going. Don't let
That's
him steamroll
Doug.
you like that. I'm not here.
And I'm Ken Brockman from The Simpsons News.
Ken or Kent?
Kent.
Oh, I thought it was Ken. Fuck.
So,
All right, Jason, go. No, you do it.
welcome to Don't Look Under the Internet, everybody. As always, I am Jason. That is,
Brock Lesnar, UFC fighter extraordinaire.
and lastly, we have.
Doug. But I almost wanted to say that I am someone else.
I know, I saw it in your
rubs
eyes. I was
off
kind of
on
hoping
you,
you were
yeah,
going
yeah.
to.
I didn't want to ruin the surprise quite yet.
That's
Okay.
fair.
We'll announce Doug's true identity later.
Yeah, it's like when Superman takes off his glasses. You're like, "Good, Clark Kent."
What? But yeah, today we are talking about a very, very popular, up and coming.
I didn't say we can start talking about this
I didn't
yet.
realize I had to ask you.
My private jet hasn't arrived yet.
Oh, we have to wait for that?
Yes.
My private jet, bro.
Well, so do we have to wait for my private yacht?
Yeah.
It's coming by private plane.
You know what we should do prior to this?
Huh.
Whatever housekeeping we have.
We don't have any.
Oh, well, never mind. Nix that.
Yeah. No, we don't have any housekeeping for once. I mean,
It's
things
been a
are
minute.
relatively calm.
That's okay. It means we can just get into the nittis grittis.
The thickums of it.
This whole story that
Make
we're
thick
about
in
to
the
go
warm.
over, make thick of the war. This,
Just make.
this whole topic that we're going to cover reminded me immediately of Julia Fox.
I don't know who that
and
is.
her uncut job. My uncut job.
That's fair.
And we're covering the Paris Hilton / Kim Kardashian of our modern era. Julia Fox will be jealous. We're covering a woman named Sophie
Sophie.
and her glorious bougie
Billionaire father
lifestyle.
lifestyle.
Her billionaire businesswoman, her rich, young, and powerful
Yes.
lifestyle.
Yeah, and like she's just like all of us.
She's just like so
know?
good, and she's just like so content with all of her very talented friends, and like
it's hard being so popular.
She brings a lot to the table. She
Yeah.
talks.
Yeah.
She's there.
she has a mouth and ears and all
she
that.
breathes.
It's
That's
fucking
why
great.
I'm gonna have to show you guys some Julia Fox videos later because that's I say she's like Julia Fox because she's
Jesus.
almost exactly like her. Anyway, yeah, this is I Am Sophie. Now you're probably
Yes.
wondering why are we covering Keeping Up with the Kardashians,
It's essentially what this is.
and we're gonna get there. This is a YouTube series. We've been doing a lot of YouTube series as of lately. Series
Well,
but they've
YouTube-
been so gosh dang fun, and YouTube is kind of where a lot of the fun ones are.
Well, yeah, it's honestly lately it's providing like a just a fucking haven for all of these analog horrors, for ARGs, like all of these weird, outlandish narratives to be told. I never would have guessed that YouTube would have been a platform for
Yeah,
that.
but don't worry,
I love
people.
it.
We got
It's great.
we got some other non-YouTube ones coming up too. But I mean,
No, we don't.
Mike's lying
shit.
through his ass
Everything
to
is
you.
YouTube.
my ass teeth is that what you said?
It is now.
Then we have a couple non-YouTube ones coming up. But
Is
I mean,
Ass Teeth the sequel to just
Just
the movie
teeth.
Teeth?
ass
the
teeth.
other end.
I hope so. Is that the tagline? It's the other end.
Yes. Or wrong hole, one of the two.
Wrong hole. So there's about 20 videos in, if you go to I Am Sophie's YouTube page, there's about 20 videos here. Go check it out. I Am Sophie. This whole thing is just phenomenal looking. The production quality. How much money do you think went into this?
I mean, it's definitely like it has like feature film
At least $10.
quality
At
vibes.
least.
At the very least.
10 pounds.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah,
10
pounds.
pounds. Sorry.
Yes.
10 pounds.
10 pounds, governor.
But there's 20 episodes or videos. I guess they're kind of episodes.
Yeah.
But you can get through this. They're relatively short. They average, I would say, between 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah. Some are like maybe
Some are 14. But yeah, it's between 5 and 10. Yeah.
Yeah, just about.
There's
yeah,
other
I think
social
it took me
medias.
about that long.
Yeah, there's other social medias, but you don't necessarily need them.
No, they're
much.
they're nice little like filler.
Yeah.
I think we'll go over it.
Yeah. Anyway, we're gonna start where all stories start.
The beginning?
The start. Yes.
Nice quality bird.
Thank
scooter.
you. Video 1 is titled "The New Queen of YouTube."
Oh my
It's a
God.
channel trailer. Yeah.
Yo, you know what? Since the people at home are going to hear this so many times,
Do you just want to play the
we
fucking...
should just play the intro.
Okay. Do you just want to play the intro video?
I mean, yeah.
You're
why
going to
not?
hear it in the series.
Like 30 fucking times.
Yeah.
Like
my name's
okay.
Sophie, and
Yeah, we can do that.
My dad is a millionaire, and I'm young, popular, and rich.
Okay, so...
Men wanna fuck me and
Wow.
I do too.
Okay.
wild.
That
bro.
was the channel trailer.
I'm Sophie.
No, so this is you're gonna hear this. Just pay attention to the music, and I mean the whole thing, honestly. But the music is kind of what you're gonna recognize as you listen to.
And I'm gonna set up the visual while you play the audio. It's a blonde woman in a pink business suit, like power suit, and her hair is all gelled back.
like
Imagine
slicked.
a Paris Hilton, but more gel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like lots of gel.
Don't look to me. Don't ask
Don't
us
look
for
to me.
You know, they can't see you. Just own it.
All right. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. This is the intro video of I Am Sophie. After we play this little bit, we'll get back to your regularly scheduled programming.
I am Sophie. Young, popular, talented. I am a friend, a daughter, a sister. And it might look like I've got it pretty easy, but all these crazy things, private jets, fast cars, beautiful friends, they've made me think, am I happy? When you're in the middle of a hurricane, you don't get to stop and look around and realize, am I being real? Am I being me?
I fucking hate her.
It's not great. It's not great.
She's
It's a
just
gr-
such a
It's
bougie.
so good though.
Ah.
Just knowing the entire series. you
Yeah.
know?
Yes, but and take that into the consideration when I say these first 6 videos are the most downvoted of them all.
Oh yeah.
Read the comments
Yes.
on some of these
Yeah.
videos. Not only are they hilarious,
You'll
but
be
they're just-
angry. You'll be happy. You'll be
Yes.
all sorts of emotions.
Jason basically just played video
yeah,
1.
that's literally there was
what it
10
is.
seconds left,
Yeah.
and it was just the fucking bookend. So
Yeah. Video 2 is titled "The Guide to Being Young, Rich, and Powerful," and this is
Yarp.
Yeah, this is a fucking. Thank you. Yerp. Just a guy in the neck. Just yerp. This is when you get, like, I would say, her to her extreme. almost this in video 4 is when it's like you can't be a real person,
Right.
Like, who is like this in real life?
Unfortunately, lots of people.
We get her kind of giving us a tour of her house, and she's like, "Yeah, this is my dad's mansion, and it's quaint, and like
It's not
we
quaint.
have like a garden. Yeah, it's a fucking mansion." She's like, and this is
It's a hall.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
a hall. My dad calls it a hall. Fuck you.
Yeah.
I'll haul your dad.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, and then she's like, this is our like Lamborghini. Shows like the close of her like on like modeling on a Lamborghini, and like she's going through like the house and shit, just like, this is like the entertainment room, but like my dad's friends will always be here, and they'll like play the piano, and like
If we ever need to start like an influencer vlog, we have our voice.
Mike, we're gonna beautify you. And
Oh,
then-
yeah.
Bish, I'm already beautified. You don't gotta do jack shit to me.
At least you got own it. I told you to own it. He's owning it.
I gotta get into the I gotta get into the
Into character.
character. Okay.
Ma. Ma.
Ashley Tisdale did that in High School Musical. That's a callback if anyone here is listening and likes High School Musical.
This is a
But-
doozy of a fucking episode.
She's Ashley Tisdale's character in High School Musical. That's what she is. That's her. That's her. She's her.
Oh.
Anyway, but yeah, she's like taking us on a tour through the house. She's like, oh yeah, and this is like the garden. My dad's like really proud of it, but like he doesn't tend to it. And I just like to sit out here like meditate and like look at all the like the plants. They're just so like, it's just a vibe. And I'm like, I hate
a nice countryside vibe.
I hate everything about how you're talking.
Yeah.
And then she's like, let's go to the jet. And there's like a private jet, and she's like, this is my private jet. And
I cannot do this for the rest of the episode. So please.
She's like, this
cut it
is
out.
my private jet, and like
Great.
I want it. It's got 2 TVs. They're small, but you know it is what it is. And like the seats are like this cream leather. I wanted black, but it's daddy's money, so he gets the color choice. And I'm like, I hate you.
The worst.
I mean, you're doing a great job of setting
Thank
up.
you, but-
Hopefully, the listeners to hate this person as well.
Yes, and you're probably wondering at this point, who's the fuck is filming her? It's her friend Ben. She knows a cameraman who has worked on a bunch of like
really good
good projects.
Yeah.
Yes,
Been
and
drowned.
my favorite.
He didn't drown. I don't
He didn't
think.
drown this time yet. Yet.
This could be before that.
And then we're introduced to this is my favorite fucking part of all this this video. I almost said movie. God,
It's basically a
It
movie.
feels like a
life
movie.
is a movie.
Oh my God.
Life is a house.
We're introduced. She's like, you know, I'm not just all like glamour and like bouge. I also
that's
like
right.
exercise and work out. And there's this whole montage of her just coming downstairs in like boxing gear, and she's like, "This is my
Yep.
personal trainer." I'm doing that voice, but she's like British, so I'm gonna try it in a British voice. She's like, "This is my personal trainer. This is Lewis," and he's like this boxer. He's like, "Talk about yourself, Lewis," and he's like, "I've been, you know, doing boxing trainings for 2 years. I train people from like ages like 77 to 72." And she's like, "Okay, but what about me? How am I doing?" And he's like, "Well, you know, we'll talk about it later. You could keep your chin down a little bit." She's like,
I can't.
"I can't keep my chin down because then the cameras can't see me." I fucking hate her.
Yes.
And then it shows like some shitty montage of her just like boxing and she's
Doing
not that good.
terrible boxing.
And then like it shows him like boxing and she's just like taking selfies in the back. Like it very much is this like over the top bougie theatrical shit.
It's the epitome of influencer.
Yeah.
It's
And then that's kind of all you get from this video is this is kind of like a tour of her lifestyle.
ugh.
The next video is called YRP Collection, available now.
Yerp.
Yerp. And it's just like a small trailer for her clothing line because she's 2 episodes deep and already needs a clothing line.
Yeah, and it's already ready to go, apparently.
The Deludi merch, if you're in the linktree.com/DelutiPod.
Shameless plug. Shameless
Yeah,
plug.
nothing really there. It's just talking about her merch. Video 4 is when we're introduced to her friend Plum. Because of course she has a
Plum!
friend named Plum.
Of course, why wouldn't she have
And
Plum?
Plum is, you remember how Paris Hilton was super hot in like the early 2000s and Kim Kardashian was like her bitch?
Sure.
No.
Apparently
don't
I
remember
kept
that,
up with
but-
entertainment shit way more than you two did.
Oh, yeah, you were the only source
Back in
of,
the 2000s, Paris Hilton was how Kim Kardashian is now.
Right,
And Kim
I remember
Kardashian was just like her friend that tagged along, attempting to be popular because she knows the popular girl.
All she had to do was just fuck Ray J or whatever.
And she did, and that's what happened.
I know, right?
And now her kid knows about it because Roblox.
I saw that, actually.
He was on Roblox, Kanye.
Oh, no. Mommy's fucking a man.
But yeah, but like, she's like, Sophie's like, we're going to go do our photo shoots for the merch today. And they're like, are driving there. She said, this is my friend Plum, and like you could just tell someone's vibes, and like Plum's like my oldest friend, and her favorite color is orange. And I'm not just saying that because you're wearing orange. You can just like look at a person and know. Like I can just look at you and know orange.
This is gonna be a long night.
And then they go to the Photoshop thing, and they're all like over the top, like she's fucking riding Plum like piggyback style, like
Yep.
photos. And then they just do a Photoshop, a photo shoot. And she's like, this is the smaller room. I wanted the bigger room, but we couldn't get it. Our manager made a mistake. And I'm like, I fucking hate you so much. I've lost brain cells watching this.
Oh yeah, I lost years of my life for how angry she made me.
The next video is called Rich Girl Lives on 10 Pounds for a Day. In parentheses, failed.
Failed 3 a.m. challenge.
Yep. So in this one, which is funny because it's called that, but she never really talks about living on 10 pounds a day. She starts it off like, I'm gonna live off of 10 pounds a day. Meanwhile, she's inside of a mansion talking like that. And then she like,
Oh, doesn't she like continue talking about it while she's in like a limo?
Yeah. But then that's not even the best part. Best part is it like cuts to a different part of her just talking about this guy named Leon Lush. He's like just like a commentator, YouTuber kind of guy who didn't know what was going on with the story at the time of making this. This guy, Leon Lush, was basically just like, this woman is just some rich, snobby lady who doesn't understand what it's like to be a real person. She sucks. And like, she makes this whole video dedicated just being like, no, like, I'm more than just a bougie, like, rich woman. Like, I can party it up like a poor person does. She's practically saying, I can hang with the poorsies.
I think the term she uses is normal people.
Yeah. And she's like, I don't have to go to bougie parties. I can go to like, I can do whatever. Like because I'm me. And like, no matter if I'm in like a normal place or like a bougie place, I'm just going to be me anyway. So she's like, me and Plum are going to go to some like cheap ass place and just party it up. So then it cuts to that, and it cuts to her and Plum just decked out in like glitter and like gems.
Apparently they got sponsored to fucking go out that night.
Yeah. Which is funny because she's over here like, oh, you know, I'm more than just bougie. And now she's like in diamonds.
Yep. And they're all free.
About ready to go out and trying to prove this guy wrong. So then they go out, and it's just like her dancing, her and Plum just dancing in a club. And then like
they don't even like show any shots of like the actual place they're at, the people. It's literally just close ups.
They show they show one guy kind of.
Yeah.
Because it's a guy that like she was kind of flirting with.
Yep. At the regular place.
At the regular place. She was flirting with the poorsies. Like and
poor.
Yeah, and afterwards her and Plum are getting in an argument where Plum's just like, go fuck him. Like you're basically saying go fuck him.
She basically goes like, are you still fucking talking about this?
Yeah.
Go have sex with him. She's like, well, no. And I was like, okay, then don't. Like
show your fucking yap.
While this conversation's going on, like the video starts, like the audio starts kind of going in and out. And then like we start getting these weird like glitches. And then we finally like, while they're talking about her going to this man's apartment to get fugged, we get these glitches of this like old dirty ass looking house. And then you get like this room where it's just filthy, like windows are boarded up. And then you get like a stool just right in the middle.
Like think The Ring.
Yeah.
Like the video from The Ring.
Yeah, it's pretty much that.
And then it like glitches back to them, like again, just talking about her going to this guy's house. And then it glitches back, and we get this like webcam footage of some random like brunette woman.
See, now
no one knows who she does. She's not Plum.
This is why
she's not Plum.
This is why I came here.
Yeah.
I didn't want to continue talking about rich young millennial influencer.
This is about to go from rich young millennial influencer to something else.
Very
what did I call this earlier? I was like this one from zero to Petscop.
Yeah.
Oh yes, it really did.
But that's pretty much the video. Then after like we see this woman in the webcam, she's like staring in the webcam. It flashes back to Sophie, and she's like eating lunch with her cameraman Ben. And they get the bill for their lunch. camera bend. They get the bill for a lunch, and it is like
$100.
It's like $100, and he's just like, "That's not 10 pounds, is it?" And she's like, "Oopsie daisy,
Did I do that?
did I do that?" So she failed.
Oh well.
Yeah.
Consequences. I still have more money than 10 pounds.
I can't be poor. I'm just so sorry.
I don't know
can't do it.
how.
It's so hard.
It's so difficult.
The rich girl lives on $10 a day was when they go to the photo shoot.
10 pounds.
Or 10 pounds a day, yes. That's when they go to the photo shoot.
Oh,
My
okay.
apologies, yes. Responding to Leon Lush is when she's talking about Leon Lush and goes out partying, and you still
And that's
see...
when she does the, like, I can still have fun at normal places.
Yes, and
Gotcha,
that's still
okay.
when you see the webcam footage of that one lady. But I just kind of, I miss.
Oh, good,
misdid
dude.
the
I get
names.
it, because you see a lot of the same stuff in a lot of these videos.
Yes. Yeah.
I will say the timeline on this whole shenanigans is the most fucking wild.
It's
ass-
bonkers.
Yeah.
I have one last video to talk about, and then you guys can talk.
And then you.
And then I will give you the opportunity to speak now.
You will speak when spoken to, Doug.
And even then.
My last one. My last one is called My Number One Super Crazy Fan. So, this starts off with Sophie being like, "Hey, we figured out who that woman in the webcam was. Her name is Laura. How do we know this? She emailed me and told me, yep, that's me in my room. I don't know how that happened." And Sophie's like, "Yeah, we didn't record it. We watched the footage. You weren't in the footage. I don't know how that happened, but it did." So then they're like, "We're going to go have a meet and greet with Laura, my super awesome fan." So Sophie gets in a car with Plum and her manager, Chloe.
Chloe's a peach, isn't she?
She is mean. She's a mean lady.
Claire?
She looks like a Chloe.
Yeah. So they go to Laura's house, and Laura's house isn't the greatest looking home. It's not like bad at all, but it's like dirty and like the lawn looks
It's
like
average
it's unkept.
for
Yeah,
like
a
a
normal,
20-something year old, like
Yeah.
late 20s,
Yeah.
living by yourself type deal.
yeah, but they go in there, and Laura is dressed very
Laura.
similar. Laura.
There's no
Laura.
U. It's just two A's and an R.
Lara. Larry. Laura. She's
You'll get it.
dressed very similar to Sophie. Like Sophie's got her Europe
Yep.
clothing on, and she's wearing like a skirt, and Laura is wearing the same thing, a skirt with the Europe.
Well, it's the same skirt, different color.
Yeah.
She even has her hair done the same way. Like,
And and right when Sophie gets there, Laura opens the door and she's like, "Yas, queen, slay, get in here, girl." And it's like, I'm gonna have an
I'd like to
aneurysm.
leave.
But like, and then it just shows like Laura like giving them like a tour of her house and everything, and they're like, "Oh yeah, this is the living room. Like we can hang out here and like do like we like do each other's hair and everything." And it's like, "Okay, and this is over here's my bedroom, and this got like a computer set up and everything." And they're like, "Hey, what's in that room?" And she's like, "We're not going in there."
Oh, is this when they're like they got their little fucking Sherlock hats and shit?
Yeah,
She's got like a fucking magnifying
Yeah.
glass and shit. Like
Yeah, that's how you see clues, Doug.
I know.
And also, all places have clues that are clearly written out in small writing. That's why they
raging-
carry them.
There's
raging
there's
clue.
usually a token somewhere that you
Yeah.
have to investigate.
Yeah,
and it
you
takes a
click
whole
on it.
turn.
Right. Out of your 2 actions that you get,
Yep.
you can use one to do that. And yeah. We're making a
So-
Mansions of Madness joke for
Yeah.
any board gamers out there.
So after Lara's like, "Don't go in that room," they're like, "All right, fine." They go finish up the rest of the tour, and they go into the kitchen where they see just like it's kind of a dirty kitchen, and there's like a cup with just like filled
With a
with cat
raging
food
clue in it.
with a raging clue, but it's just like filled with cat food, and they're like, "Oh, do you have a cat?" And she's like, No." It's like, "Why do you have
Nope.
cat food?" And she's like, "I don't really know. That's weird. Let's go back to the living room."
Strays or
She's like,
something.
yeah, let's go back to the living room. Yes. And they're like, "All right, this lady's fucking weird." And so they're like, "Okay, so Sophie's like, I invited my boy Mark over." And Mark is going to Mark's going to attempt to explain to us what's going on and how you were able to get onto our computer.
So,
And, like,
I have to say this, it's going to bug me otherwise. When I was watching this, I I laughed so fucking hard when they paused on Mark's face and they put his name underneath because it's literally just him with the most blank, distant look on his face, just like.
Oh yeah, everyone looks at Sophie the way you would. Like, are you fucking serious? Like, are you really the way you are? Everyone looks at her that way. It's
Absolutely.
great. And so they're like, Mark, like, how could this have happened? Like, show us what's going on. And he's like, well, you can access a bunch of stuff through like IP addresses and whatnot. And I think he like gets into like Laura's computer at one point through like her IP address or something.
Yeah, basically he's looking for, what he says is like, every time you use a computer, you leave a trace. And he was basically looking for traces
that's
that
what it
connect
was.
to the video.
Yeah, and he found this like audio clip, which just sounded like, what would you even say that is? Like kind of like a high pitched screaming kind of thing. Like
it sounds like a low pitch growling.
Yeah.
It's funny because I actually know what it was and I forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm drawing a blank on what the actual sound
But you
was.
hear this like low pitched like growling thing, and then Laura's just Laura is just kind of like getting like super uncomfortable. Like she like goes to like stand up, she walks away for a minute, she's like visibly like nervous and like anxious, and they're like, what the fuck is going on? And like while they're playing this noise, you start hearing like banging coming from upstairs. And they're like, what's that noise? And Laura's just like, what noise? Like, there's nothing going on with us. We should just braid each other's hair. We could do makeup tutorials. And they're like, no, what's that noise? And it like keeps happening. And they're like, what the fuck is going on up there? And Laura just like freaks the fuck out. Like, there's nothing up there. Blah, blah, blah. And then Chloe, the manager, is like, all right, we've been in this room with this house with this weirdo for way too goddamn long. We're getting the fuck out of here right now. And so they go to leave. And like Laura just loses her fucking shit that they're leaving. She's like, no, don't leave. Please, I love you. Come back. I'm your number one fan. Ah. And like,
Chloe legit has to pull.
Yeah, and she's like,
Larry.
She's like, don't fucking touch me. Get the fuck off of me. And then like Ben's filming, and she's like, told you not to fucking film either. And she's just, Chloe is just laying down the fucking hammer.
She gives
right
no
now.
fucks.
Yeah. And then they leave, and then they're just like, it cuts back to Sophie in her house, just like, yeah, that's some fucked up shit right there.
Oh. Do you have more to say about this video?
No, I'm pretty much done. That's
so
about
there's
it.
one thing I wanted to mention about that video that you wouldn't think to pay attention to as much as you should, but definitely pay attention. So at the beginning of the video, you see both Sophie and Plum together. And then it cuts where she comes in saying like, okay, so I have to say this here because from here on out it gets a little crazy. And that's right before they go over to Laura's house. Mm-hmm. The thing you notice is every time she comes in with that is Plum's not there.
Yeah.
And so definitely
that's true.
Keep a note of that.
And when they're like, what's that noise? Plum is the one that goes investigating the noise. Sophie stays back with Chloe, and Chloe's like, we're leaving this house. We got to get the fuck out of here. You don't actually see Sophie or Plum leave.
You do not.
Mm-hmm. You just see Sophie and Chloe leave.
Yep.
Also, if you didn't think about this before, now if you're watching along with us while we're telling the story, the comments are getting crazier on the videos now.
Yes.
The internet is doing what they do best and
freaking the fuck out,
shitting theories of what's happening into the comments now, which it was actually pretty interesting to read. But
yeah, it's fun to see these little things unfold like that,
especially with like all the hate comments in the first couple of videos.
Yeah,
and then those same people being like, "Wow, this is a great story." Like,
yeah,
glad this person isn't real.
Well, it definitely got him, and it got me too. To be fair, like when I first saw this, I'm like, why do people like this? I don't understand. This is fucking trash. And then you get into it. Mm-hmm. So that was the 6th video, correct?
Yeah.
Let's kick up the
6.
7.
Oh, fuck. You were one off.
Damn. I summoned the devil.
Well,
no wait, the ABCD, the evil.
Evil.
The evil. Oh, the evil.
Oh
wow, we got there.
So video 7 is. So Mike he had all the nice little.
I had the easy ones.
You had the very easy, like the setup. Like this is everything that's going on.
I
Here's
did that
a
on
little
purpose.
bit of conflict. Now we get into a video named 11271518920813.mp3.
A .mp3 video.
Yeah, right.
That's why we've hit the curve.
Yes. So first off, MP3s are audio only. Just a heads up. It's about 11 minutes long. And when it starts, it shows Sophie and she goes, you know what? Hey, sorry. Like I'm late uploading this. And she has just this really like, it's like she's very distracted and she's not.
She keeps like looking behind her.
And she keeps looking behind her and she's not there. And she has a very trail off, like non-existent explanation for why the video's late. And they hear something. So Camera Ben puts his camera down and Sophie, they both leave the room to go find something or figure out what a noise was.
I don't know why that was so funny. Just Camera Ben put his camera down.
It's all he has, man.
That's all he's good for.
So they leave and the camera's sitting by itself. Well, it starts zooming in very slowly and very automatically.
And then it does the contrast.
Yeah, you see the
ratio
contrast.
changes.
Yeah, you see the contrast a bit. The most important thing in this part of the video is while this is happening, you see like a glitchy trail of a person walking from the room that is being shot by the camera around the corner into the room the camera's in and like out through a door. You can't tell who it is. It just literally looks like there was a background video behind it and it was showing somebody walking or something. Don't think anything of it. You're like, okay, that was really fucking weird. Maybe it's just a glitch.
Ben's camera's weird.
I know. So
Damn it, Ben.
Dang it,
Sophie and Ben come back and it cuts to them going into Sophie's bedroom, which is now just fucking trashed. And she's like, what the fuck? And she's freaking out. And there's like the word cunt in blood written on her mirror.
It was in her makeup.
Or,
It was
okay.
on a lipstick or something.
Yeah.
There's very runny, like red something on her mirror that said cunt. Room was trashed. And so she starts to like panic a little bit, and then it cuts away from that, and she's in another room where she's standing next to like these cupboards, and she's definitely not there. She's not paying attention really. She's always like looking over her
Understandable.
shoulders.
Yeah.
Obviously. She starts going through some books and saying like, let's check, like, let's do this, like doing anything she can.
Like distract yourself or something.
And that honestly to me is like that for a character in this to act like this is incredible for me because it's showing you what an influencer would do.
Yeah.
The camera's on them. So they have to make sure everything's okay, which means they're ignoring everything that is not okay.
Yep.
The not okay thing is the fucking sounds of people in your house that you're ignoring. She hears it again.
Well, and the weird thing, before you continue just a little bit, is like when they're in that bedroom, like she has to like redo the intro like
6 times.
Yeah, because she's like keeps like freaking out that something's gonna happen. And,
Yeah.
and
Well,
Ben
you can
just,
see that her mind blanks. Like,
Yeah.
Just
on
she's
her.
like, today we're gonna, and then you can hear Ben like smile more, and he's just like,
You've never
puts
heard
on a
Ben
phony
coach.
smile. Ben's a dick because this entire time he don't care. They're supposed to be the only two in this house. They're hearing other like things running around, and Ben's just like, no, keep going. I'm filming this shit. Like,
It's weird how he acted like that, right?
yeah,
Like there was nothing going on.
wild.
It's so fucking wild.
fucking Ben.
Foreshadow.
Not at all, Mike.
There's 4 shadows here.
That's so stupid. So after this happens, after the sound happens again, it kind of gets shaken into Sophie that like, okay, this is not okay. I need to stop what I'm doing. We need to go investigate this. But yeah, so after Sophie and Ben are 100% sure that somebody else is in this fucking house now, which I'm not sure why they didn't come to that conclusion when the word cunt was written on her mirror and
Ben did
her
that.
shit was,
For the views.
Yes, for the views. She starts exploring, and she walks into a room. I don't know which room it is, but there's like candles lit, and like the lights are up, but the candles are there.
It almost looks like a bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a fucking huge
Yeah.
it's a goddamn
mansion.
mansion, so it's a huge ass bathroom, and there's candles lit. And she walks into this room off of the bathroom, or part of the bathroom, or whatever. Maybe it's like a walk-in closet or some shit. It looks like there's shit all over the walls. I couldn't really tell like what it was.
Poop.
They missed. Is what happened.
He called the shit poop.
Well, see, most people have toilets. Rich people have poop closets. It's just whole rooms.
That a butler just shovels it out
Yes.
for him every night.
Absolutely.
Hey, they're job providers, okay?
I guess. No, so they walk into this room and they dead end. They're like, what the fuck? And Sophie turns around and she lets out the most blood-curdling, hair-raising scream that I'm pretty sure fucked with all three of us
Shit
when we
was
first.
I
terrifying.
pooped my pants.
Yeah, my
when I
heart
was
stopped
watching this.
for fucking sure. And Ben turns around with the camera, and you get to see what she screamed at. And there in the bathroom bedroom, wherever the fuck she is Mark.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Oh, hi, Mark. God damn it. I didn't think of that once when I was watching this. Okay. But yeah, so Mark is standing there. He's nude except for his boxers.
Yeah,
And
he's a boxer guy, not a brief guy.
I would have pegged him for a brief guy.
Tidy whities.
Or tidy whities. Not like so much the boxers, but he's wearing boxers. And he's got blood all over his like neck and mostly his like upper extremity, aka his head.
Thanks, doctor.
I get my medical jargon confused with my regular
His
jargon.
brain helmet.
My brain helmet doesn't do the electric thought thing so good.
Oh, my brain died on me the other day when it rained. My jacket got all wet, and I went up to Lori. I'm like, if I take off the wet, I'll be dry. She's like, what? I'm like, don't talk shit about me. I am true. Like, my brain just, if I take off the wet, I'll be dry.
Jesus.
I am true.
So much like Mark, Mike was wet, but not with blood.
Yeah, I was wet with other things.
That's a whole other thing we can unpack later.
Urine.
And
He unpacked it for us right there.
Okay.
So, moving along.
but so Mark's covered in blood and he's standing there and he's just kind of like muttering some stuff to himself, and Sophie's starting to freak out. She's like, Mark, what the fuck? What the fuck? And he's very clearly losing his goddamn mind because he's standing there kind of pacing in one spot. You can't really hear too much. The only like bits of audio that I could actually hear were him talking about how he's finally here and that he did it. And then he starts like walking out to the rest of the house a little bit. Once he gets clear of the door and they see an opening, Sophie and Camera Ben decide to make a fucking mad dash for it.
He was talking about like, he was like, well, where am I? I don't know where I am, but I'm here. I did it. And then he's talking about how he feels like he's got like worms in his head.
Yeah.
And shit.
That's, yes. Oh my God. I can't believe I forgot about the fucking worm
And they're
thing.
like, how'd you get here? He's like, I don't know.
So-
But I got here. And he's like, I got here though.
Yeah. And he's acting very strange. He's acting like he's fucking possessed.
It reminded me of the cult member guys from that Outlast game.
Oh yeah.
It reminded
yeah.
me of that kind of shit a little
Yeah,
bit.
a
I was
little
thinking
bit.
the fucking brain slugs from Futurama.
That as well.
Oh, you dropped your brain slug.
Thank you.
So he's going insane. He leaves. Sophie and Ben book it out of whatever room they're in. And she's running, and she sees Mark when she runs through like the dining room, sitting at this massive fucking table right next to it's a man in a suit,
A butler.
and you can't really see his face too well.
You can't.
Because A, it's very, very quick, and B, his face is like darkened.
Yeah.
Keeps running, goes into another room. There's fucking Mark again with the same man that you can't see his face, and they're sitting at the piano this time. And you see it again. And as you're looking at all of these things, you're realizing that all of these places were places that Sophie had filmed her previous videos. And he's just kind of, I think a good word is placeholding. It looks like he's kind of placeholding where she was. Again, still covered in blood. Just fucking, it's very freaky. Sophie is freaked the fuck out. So they run outside and it's dark. And they're just walking, and they're walking in like the forest at this point. You see a couple of different trees, and she stumbles into like this house, like this building that's just out of fucking nowhere. And she's like, what the fuck? And she's looking around, and she basically bursts through the door. And she immediately freezes and is like staring off in like the corner a little bit and like just like whimpering. And so Ben turns around and you see that there's somebody in the fetal position covered in blood on the floor in the corner.
Yeah, this is like a dark, dingy fucking.
Yeah.
It's what we saw before.
Yes.
Basically, in the glitches from one of my videos, the one with where she goes out partying with her bougie friend and gonna go fuck that guy.
Yep. Yeah, so some of the glitchy visuals that you're going to see, if you pull some of the stills, the frames will line up with some of the things you see in this house, which is a huge clue. So she notices this woman, and so Ben pans over, looks at her, and then looks back to Sophie, and she's like crying, whimpering, like backing away slowly, turns back, she's fucking gone. When Ben turns back around, all you see are these two like
So fucking
fingers
creepy.
clutching the sides of Sophie's arms. It's so fucking creepy, and she's just like skeeved the fuck out, and she's like trying to get away by going up on her toes. And
They do a great fucking job
That's
of
not-
making
it-
you scared.
It's
Yes.
you don't know what's fucking happening anymore. It's off the fucking rail.
well, we did find what Sophie was looking over her shoulder for. If you look closely, the very end of this video, you see the head of the person behind Sophie pop up over her shoulder, and that's when you recognize her as Laura. It's like, what? Okay, so now she's in a. Is this where
She's
is
wearing
this where
like,
she lives?
She's wearing like a. Didn't she wear like garbage bags too? Or
I don't. I
something?
couldn't
It
tell.
looked
what
like a white like gown or like a nightgown or
hospital
something.
gown is
like,
kind of what I was
yeah.
thinking. Something like that.
It was something along the lines of like that.
Yeah. So she goes nuts and she starts fucking screaming her head off. Just when I thought like, so remember how I said every video that we see in these like these style videos, there's usually one good jump scare. That's not the case
Yeah.
for these videos. So as Lara's screaming and Sophie's whimpering, you all just randomly fucking see still nude bloody Mark just like shamble into frame, and he literally just stands behind Lara and like kind of like drops her down to her knees. She's facing away from him, and he like looks up and like it looks like he says something for a second and then just fucking snaps her neck. And
This is a great time to let everyone know that there's going to be a few trigger warning sections.
so after Mark comes in and snaps her fucking neck, Sophie kind of gets her bearings, and like they just fucking up and disappear. Like the body's gone, Mark is gone, and now it's just back to Sophie and Ben. She starts to get her bearings a little bit, and she realizes, well, she doesn't realize, we realize what room she's in. She starts freaking out, like what the fuck's going on? What's going on? Ben is looking around. All of a sudden, like he just stops hearing Sophie. And so he pans around the room and she's just fucking gone.
Yeah,
Like,
this
there's
shit's
no trace.
so creepy because it just went from like, oh, like a little bit of supernatural to people are just up and disappearing.
Yeah, people's
Like-
necks are getting broken. Like, so she disappears. He pans around again, and like a couple seconds later, she reappears sitting in a metal chair with a sock stuffed in her mouth, like she was gagged or something. And then she spits it out, but it's not like it was kept there. Spits out the sock, and she's like screaming, like, what the fuck, what the fuck? And then you see her eyes go huge as you hear Ben grunt, and the camera drops down, and you see Mark, still nude, covered in blood, in between Ben's legs, just like stabbing the shit out of him. So Ben dies, and then
Ben drowned in his blood.
yes, Ben drowned in his blood. Mark picks up the camera and sets it up like right across from where Sophie is, and she's in this chair still, just like what the fuck is happening, just like crushed. And in walks Lara, dressed head to toe in the exact same outfit that we saw Sophie in her
Pink
first video.
business power suit.
Yep, the pink suit.
Hair gelled back.
Yeah, she's got her hair gelled back and everything, and her and Mark just start making out and like smiling and hugging over her, and it just gets real fucking weird.
I guess this kind of confirms
Really
that
quickly.
was Plum earlier.
Yes, so
Yeah.
this I apologize. When I first watched through this, I thought that this was Lara, but no, it makes way more sense that this is Plum.
Yeah, so Plum got her neck snapped.
Plum
because we,
was
again, we
Plum.
never actually saw Plum leave
Yeah, we never
Laura's house. I guess we know what happened to her.
we know what happened to her. Something happened to her brain, and then something happened to her neck. Is what happens.
Neither were good.
So the last part of this video, I know this is still the same fucking video. During the scene at the end where Sophie's losing her shit and you see Lara and Mark just smiling and having a great time, there's a bunch of glitches. In those glitches, you see like a bunch of maggots and worms and that kind of stuff. But if you pause it, you can see what looks like a very fucked up face, like incredibly fucked up. Like it's got fucking tentacles on its mouth. It's got a huge fucking mouth. It's just not proportionate at fucking all.
Yeah, it's a very weird looking.
And that's all we get from video number 7. I promise the rest of these are much quicker because it's not 11 minutes long. The next one we get to, which is video 8, it's literally just the new queen of YouTube channel trailer, but reversed. So it's literally just backwards text.
Aw, flip, dude.
Flap.
The description of the video, that's all backwards as well. Her links to like Twitter and stuff, those are all backwards. And then there's a really glitchy intro for the beginning of this, and you see Lara, and it shows like either a dead or a very, very hurt Sophie. It shows Ben, or no, not Ben, fucking
Mark.
No,
Lewis.
Simon.
God damn it.
Chloe.
So basically, Simon. It was Simon. So you're seeing basically this episode of the vlog, but with Lara instead. But it's being filmed on a laptop. Like it's being filmed from a phone on a laptop, not just like streamed or downloaded or whatever. And you he accidentally turns the camera around so you can catch a glimpse of his face, and it's Simon.
It's like when you pirate a movie when you're in a movie theater when you're watching it, and then you film Morbius through your jacket pocket.
Exactly. And you accidentally hit the flip around and it just films your pocket the whole fucking
And this is probably a good time to mention that I don't think people know who Simon is.
They do not right
This
now.
is our first introduction.
Yes. So this is our first screen time, and not only screen time, but there is another time where we see Simon. This is the first time that we actually see this new face. It belongs to somebody named Simon, which we're going to go over a little bit later. So after this video ends, there's a whole bunch more glitching, and in the glitch, you actually see a QR code which connects you to the shop site and takes you to an image of binary that's, when translated, just says it is not over, or it's not over. And that's the entirety of 8. 9 again is the guide to being young, rich, and powerful. It's the same fucking shit, but with Lara and the glitchiness at the beginning. You do get to see Sophie's dad for a bit longer in this one, which is nice, because you only caught like a split-second glimpse of him early, but this one you get like an actual look at her dad.
Sophie's dad.
Yes. You also see that her face is like glitched the fuck out. And that's the end of that one. Video 10 is called the Yerp Collection.
Yerp.
Available now. It shows more of Lara basically replacing Sophie. And then there's you hear crying from behind the camera that's filming this laptop. So you assume it's the guy that you just saw, who we know is Simon. We'll tell you why we know that in a little bit.
Yeah, the weird thing in this isn't it like throughout all these videos too, like Laura is just doing everything that Sophie did in the first. Like she's on the private plane.
It's like almost a shot for shot.
It's shot for shot, exact.
The merch photo shoots are with the exact same models.
Yep.
And everything. It's great.
Yerp.
Yerp.
Yeah, it's literally it's like she's replacing Sophie. The 10th, so the Yerp Collection available now. It's more of her replacing her. You hear some crying, but you also see was it Lara? It was Lara that said, "I'm sorry. Watch the next disc all the way through, and this is her last chance to make things right. Yada yada yada. But watch the next one all the way through." So the next one's called Lara.mp4.
That's still not a video file.
Yes, it is.
MP4s?
Yep.
Oh no, I'm still thinking MP3. Sorry.
You tried, mate.
The file police over here. Lara.mp4. Okay. Tell me if I'm wrong, but I'm assuming that this is the video of that disc that she's asking to watch through, because you see basically a whole bunch of titles that say vlog 1, 2, 3, all the way through to 12.
You see him exchanging them out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So he clicks on Lara first blog. It's stark contrast to Sophie. Like they're the same in the trailer, but when she's like talking, she's just depressed. She's down. She's not Sophie at all, who's like this, everything's awesome. I did nothing to deserve any of this, but I'm going to flaunt it anyway type person. Whereas Lara's more like, yeah, I've got a cat. And like,
Yeah, this is
it's like a vlogger starting off with no type of like outreach to any sort of audience.
Exactly.
They're like, here's my life. I'm gonna.
Yeah, she's like,
here's 5 fun facts about me, and like I have a cat.
Yeah, she's a cat. She says she's a gamer.
Yeah.
And so after that one plays through, there's not a whole lot of substance in that one. We skip all the way to vlog 12. And there's this very awkward intro where she tries several times to do an intro because it looks like she's distracted. That sounds fucking familiar.
Mm-hmm.
And
she
then,
like it's like she forgets her name.
it's like she forgets her name. It's like she forgets what the fuck she's doing there. She forgets everything. And then we fast forward, or the video gets fast forwarded after a very awkward intro, and it moves to this area where there's a glitch over Lara's face. And basically just runs it back and forth and back and forth and back and forth to try to figure out like what the fuck, like what is this?
Again, I know you mentioned like it's like someone filming.
Yeah,
like
somebody
their
using their
computer
phone to
screen.
film a laptop.
It's
screen.
kind of like they're trying to watch these videos and trying to solve what the fuck is going on.
Yeah.
While you are as well.
It's like you are this person.
Yeah, like he's watching. He's like, what the
POV.
fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a first person shooter. Okay. So after that happens, they fast forward a little bit more, and basically you hear a noise start playing, and then it stops real quick, and Lara says, "Oh, sorry, ads," or something like that. If you've listened to what she's listening to, it's the fucking new Queen of YouTube channel trailer for Sophie.
The one that we played.
The one that we played for all of you. That's what she's hearing. You hear the first just couple of seconds of it. They're unmistakable. And she shuts it off and is like, "Oh, sorry, just ads, blah, blah, blah." Fast forwards a ton more, and she's literally just sitting, and like she's trying to talk about stuff, and she's just sitting and fucking staring at her computer, almost like she's trying to find a topic for like this vlog. It ends with her talking about a new map, which we're not really sure what the fuck that means.
It's a new map on Fortnite.
Yes. So we learned that because she's a gamer, she does to talk about Skyrim a lot. She talks about Fortnite a lot. She wants to start doing some streaming, and we find this out. What is this in the 13th video, I believe. There is one in between that goes. It's very strange, but meat and potatoes is she's about to start streaming some games. Laura2.mp4, which is the next video, shows her sitting in the mirror on the floor of her room on her phone. Then it glitches and she jumps to the chair that's like front screen.
It spooked me because I didn't see her at first. Her face just comes out of the dark. And just right there.
You hear her dad ask if she's coming downstairs, and she says like, "No."
No, I'll be down in a minute, Papa.
And then you hear some ticking. And you remember that little bit of video that we saw when Ben drops his camera and you see like the glitch out happen and a person walk through? You see something very similar in this one as well. You also get some heavy breathing, as if somebody might be hiding. And then we jump to vlog 2. All the way back to vlog 2.
Yeah, that person that you see the glitches, that looked like something we've seen already before.
It does look like
it
something.
looks like weird squid face man, octopus face guy that you mentioned.
Tentacle face man
that you mentioned before.
I thought you were gonna say Weird Al.
It looked like Weird Al Yankovic
Weird Al is actually starring in this. Look it up. I'm not lying.
as Daniel Radcliffe.
I am lying. The very last video in my little series is video number 13, and it is just simply called the game1.mp4. It's under vlog 3 of this disc, and it's about how Lara receives an email after email, basically people asking her to play this game, and it's, from the sound of it, just literally everything about it screams Sophie. Like, it's called, Young, Rich, and Powerful, or
Yep.
Yerp. Everything is line for line the exact same. So she boots the game up. It's a little 8-bit game. And she's basically playing the channel trailer for the new Queen of YouTube, which is Sophie. And it's the exact same text until we find out that so in one of the earlier videos, I know we didn't cover this, there's a very small scene where Sophie is like doing an interview and she looks down to her phone and you hear her say, "Oh my God, she actually uploaded it."
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? This is where we learn what that video, like what the content of it was, because it's all in text and it describes it. We find out that Sophie was talking about a video that has something to do with a decapitated horse. Mm-hmm. We also just get the words in all caps in the game, decapitated horse.
Yeah, the game is like, it's so weird. The game is
it's so strange. But then it goes right fucking back.
Yeah.
Right back into Sophie's life. Like it's the same shit in the trailer.
8-bit game that just goes through the first 6 videos
and
that Sophie uploaded. It's fucking weird.
It's very fucking weird. So we get the decapitated horse, and you're like, okay, that's a little strange, but it's all still on track. Keeps going, and eventually we start to get to some irregularities in the text. And one of them, she's not supposed to be saying this at all, but this is the text that pops up. "Verily she hath 12 feet all dangling down, and 6 necks exceeding long.
Oh, yeah.
And on each hideous head, and therein 3 rows of teeth, set thick and close, full of black death."
Yeah. Well, so the context to that, I think, is because, and I left out a little bit of detail, when Sophie is giving like the tour of the house, she goes in the library and is like,
oh yeah,
she's like, oh, look at all these books. There's Cicero, there's Shakespeare. She reads a passage from one of those.
Yeah.
And then there's like a part in this, in one of the earlier videos where she's like sitting in this chair and she like has this whole like swivel desk.
Oh yeah.
She like swivels it up. She's like, I could just read or watch my iPad, watch movies on my iPad without touching it. And that,
Laura's like, what?
Yeah, that
what does
like,
that mean?
That like text is in the game, and she's like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah,
because it's just a pixel person just sitting there saying, "I can watch my iPad without touching it." It's like, what?
Oh yeah. The next little bit of discrepancy is when they go look at the fireplace when they're in the library. All it says is the fireplace is filled with wet and rotting wood, blackened by fires that have not burned in decades. And then we get another discrepancy that says the flowers smell like rotting meat and stomach acid. And this is when they were in the conservatory.
Mm-hmm. She's like, it's such a vibe.
Yeah, but nope. Apparently, it smells like fucking rotten meat and stomach acid.
She's like, I like to watch the pigeons.
Yeah. It just gets weirder from here. The discrepancies go fucking full throttle. When they're in the plane, it talks about how they're like the seats are covered in human leather.
I thought that was funny.
That's my kind of plane.
It's like they're softer that way or some shit like that. Sinners burned at the stake in one of the pictures that she was talking about in the video, but in the game, it's something far darker. Stiff like the plane windows when she was fucking fiddling with it. In the game, it's like it's stiff like a corpse. It's a lot of very weird like differences.
It's a fucked up version of the first videos.
Huh?
It's a fucked up version of the first videos.
It is. And then something very unexpected happens. The fucking plane crashes. And everybody dies. And then
so that was I Am Sophie.
So then we go and she shows right back up again in the training center where she's training with Lewis.
Just like another irregularity that they just kind of like,
he didn't talk. She's asking him stuff and responding like normal, but he's just ... every single time. And at the end of this, they ask if you want to continue. What? Like the game does. And it's just like, and this is the end of the video. And that is the end of my portion of this little fucked up project known as I Am Sophie.
woo, it's me now.
Sorry that took so long, but there was a lot fucking more in that first video than I thought.
Yeah, mine are actually relatively short, I feel like, as far as the content goes.
Hey, Doug, can you go?
Yeah, no, sure. All right, so we're going to start off here with video 14. This one's titled, Who Are You? And this video opens up with Lara reading text from the game. Basically, it's like a continuance of the last video. And you can tell that, like, when she's reading this text, like, she's not saying it out loud, but you're seeing it on the screen. but you can like see when it cuts back to her face, or like when you look at her face, like it's like down in the bottom corner of the camera, that she's like very invested in this now.
Yes.
Like she is like sucked the fuck into this. So she answers yes to the question, and the game is like, all right, cool, let's go.
She seems like upset to keep going. You know, it's like she's not forced, but like
Not yet.
she's.
No, she's excited now.
Oh no, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Yeah,
Welcome to Don't Look Under the Internet. Mike ruins the episode edition.
Subscribe, Sophie. Subscribe.
so again, the game
love
that
you,
she's
buddy.
playing is literally a recap of this series, but with weird extra bits added in, right?
Yep.
So out of nowhere, the game just starts addressing Lara by her name. And you literally, as soon as it says her name in game, you see just the like light switch in her face go from excited to fear.
Oh, yeah.
Like just in a fucking instant.
Oh, yeah.
And the game is almost like starts taunting her with like real life facts about herself, like calling her out about like living at home with her dad and like all this weird shit. And basically it just starts spiraling out of control, and she's just freaked the fuck out. And then there's this like recording of like, basically it cuts out, because I think in the last video, I don't remember if it was the last one or not, but there's a part where Laura's talking to someone on the phone, like asking if she can like help, if he can help her.
That was the one where she's like sitting in that dark room and her dad, I think that was what, video 10?
Either way,
Something like that.
she's talking to somebody on the phone about like splicing game footage and her footage together for her,
Like
and
she's
like
trying to
help
find an
her out.
editor or something. Yeah.
And at this point, the camera cuts out, and then you just hear this like phone call of someone telling her to stop playing the game and to send it to him, and he'll deal with it. And then like this like small text pops up on the screen, and it just says, "I can see you," and then you too, like
Us.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's very, very
Fourth
weird.
wall breaky.
Yeah. So the next video is called "I Can See You Too," which is very relevant.
Yep.
And the description of this video, it actually says, "Now she will know what you are not."
Oh,
Cool. Very nice.
Word fun.
I'm not a horse. Does
Not
she know
anymore.
that
Someone let her know.
now? Someone go tell her.
So this video starts out with a dude dancing, and
I love this man.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
he's just like dancing around his room, and you can like tell like it's supposed to be like a webcam that we're watching, but like for some reason we can we're like, it almost looks like we're looking through the computer at him, because we
Yeah.
can see his desktop
Yeah.
stuff.
We're like looking through the monitor.
Yeah.
On the other side.
So that's kind of interesting.
And he doesn't know it?
So, remember what happened with Laura the first time we meet her? Where she was just looking at her computer and the webcam turned on and we could see her for a second.
Uh-huh.
Now the same thing is
Yeah,
happening.
yeah.
Oh, I understood the connection. That wasn't the problem.
Oh, okay.
It was just weird.
It is weird.
So we technically we have seen this dude who's dancing before, and this is the same guy that's technically watching the videos right now. This is Simon.
Yep.
And you don't find that out for a minute here, but basically he starts talking to his stuffed flamingo about how he's just Mr. Nice Guy, does everything for everyone, just kind of sad sapping around
Goes
his room.
full incel.
Yeah, full
Pity party of
insult.
one.
Yeah.
And there's literally just like, there's like probably 2 or 3 minutes that they could have just taken out of this, but it's just him loafing around on bed. But either way, he gets a call from someone on Skype and then doesn't pick it up. And he's like, kind of like, all right, fuck it, I'm going to get out of bed now. So he gets out of bed, and then he starts like, he gets a text like right away. And that's what actually gets him out of bed. I'm sorry. But we see him, like, we see the text thread now between him and whoever he's texting, and it's like backwards, because
Well,
we're
you
still
can see who it is.
No,
You're looking
I know.
past the words.
Yeah, you're still seeing it all, but like there's a part where it like clearly comes into focus on like the text names, and you can see that it's Simon texting Mark. So that's where we like truly find out his name in the whole series, I guess. Yeah, and they're just like they're kind of just shooting the shit. He's like, "Hey, I got something for you. Can you help me out?" And he's like, "Fuck it, all right." He's like, "Yeah, I found some weird malware inside of a video game. Like, you mind if I send it to you?" And then he's kind of like, "I really don't want to do this, but like, yeah, sure, send it over." So pretty much at the end of the episode, you just see him like he's like, and like you see him kind of thinking, and then he sits down at his laptop and starts writing out an email, and it's the exact email that Lara reads that she keeps getting from the same person over and over and over and over again.
Is it the one that calls her bro?
No, it's when she's doing her vlog. I think it's like her second vlog or something. She's like, "Oh, I just got an email from a viewer," and then she's like, "Oh, he sent me this game that he wants me to play. All right, I'll look into that, viewer. Thank you for the email." Turns out Simon's the one that sent her that email, wanting her to play a game, and that game is the Young, Rich, and
Yerp. Okay, so the next video is called "Are You Being You?" And this video starts off with like Lara crying, and then there's like all these weird glitches of some like weird vlog of stuff from Sophie's like first vlogs, and then like this whole video is like just fucking like random as shit because then a bloody hand with a knife shows up and it's just like fucking like stabbing a table. It's just like all bloody.
It's just a lot of like uneasy visuals.
Yeah,
What's
exactly.
the word I'm looking for?
It's more Ring type shit where it's just like
yeah.
all these weird cuts of like weird things happening, and then we get a cut of Sophie like literally screaming at Lara through the computer, and you can just tell Laura's like just freaked the fuck out. Big trigger warning here, but we start seeing like suicide happening, like someone like cutting themselves, and like you don't see it from like the waist up, but like you see it from the legs down, but you know what the fuck they're doing.
Yep.
And then she starts hearing these voices outside of her room, and she like gets up and walks to the door, and she can hear Sophie, Plum, and Chloe outside of her door, but she like doesn't do anything. Like
she
stands there for a while and listens, and then all of a sudden she just fucking opens the door up and nobody's there, and then it just cuts to someone and they shoot themselves in the fucking head. And that's the end of the video. That one was a lot to take in and to process, because you get a lot of stuff, but I think the main thing you want to keep in mind is when she heard the people outside of her door. So she like heard the whole transaction from when they go to Laura's house, and they're like, "What's in that door?" And Laura's like, "Nothing. Get away from there." You hear it like you said, you hear that whole conversation.
Yep.
So it's assumed
From the other side.
Is it like assume that there's two Lauras kind of? You're right. It's hard to say.
At this point,
we're gonna get there.
Yeah,
I'm sure we all have details on our theories. I'm just bursting.
I'm not even sure I even know like what I think is happening. Like
Same.
the more I talk about it, like the more I'm like, well,
wait. Yeah, I did the same fucking thing when I was talking about my shit. I was like, okay, maybe my crackpot theory is crackpot.
So the next video is called Lara3.mp4. This is her like third YouTube installment video. Basically she says she needs time away from being online. She's actually sitting outside, kind of just doing this whole vlog. And she talks about how her house and room is making her feel sick. Like there's something in the air, almost like it's a thick air. And then when she lies in her bed at night, she says she gets this like feeling that something else is in her bed, because she can feel the end of her mattress sink in. And when she gets up, she's not scared, but she sees a man in a suit, and he's caressing her feet.
I got mad,
but like in a loving way.
I got like "Hi, I'm Mary Mary" vibes from
little bit
from this video.
A little bit.
Oh yeah.
You
From this video specifically, for fucking sure.
The only thing is, it's always the whole video is just a shot of her. You don't see this shit happening, and she's just describing what happens. But yes, like the whole sitting outside to get away from the house thing was very "Hi, Mary Mary." But then when this man is like caressing her feet, he'll point to the corner of the room, and she sees this crouched figure in the shadow, and this thing is like, this makes her anxious and upset and like scared. And there's also like this random noise that happens in the video at one point, just like randomly.
Cool.
Yeah, it's just like very ominous. Like all of a sudden you're like, all right, that's not supposed to be there. And then she kind of just goes into how the game has terrified her and made her feel very unsafe, but also very seen. not like emo, but
Yeah,
like
I see
people's eyeballs saw her.
I feel like people are watching me, not like Avril Lavigne. Would you count Avril Lavigne as seen?
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
The-
still-
her music isn't, but she dresses.
Would you
she-
say
she
she's
dressed?
still seen,
No.
or was she saw?
She
She
saw.
was seen. Now she saw.
She saw.
She's a seesaw.
She's a seesaw.
Okay.
But yeah, so that being said, you can tell in this video that there's this like weird love-hate relationship with this thick-aired room of hers, because she keeps talking about how like it makes her feel sick, but like she like likes it, like she wants to be there, but at the same time she knows she needs to not be there.
Yeah,
Yep.
I wonder if it's supposed to be a metaphor for something.
Yeah, it's heroin.
Yeah.
So next video is called continue.mp4. And this one's pretty short. Actually, the rest of the videos are fairly short, but this one basically says, or is a video of Laura sleeping in bed, and it's like flashing all these like images, and we just see a bunch of more self-harm in this one. And then it's just like all of a sudden a tortured Sophie shows up for a brief moment, and what looks like a possible like IRL plane crash video. And then the video ends.
Are we seeing the pieces coming together? Yet?
The puzzles puzzling.
It is puzzling. It's very puzzling.
We're getting into one of my favorite videos.
So now we get into the next video called "Poor Girl Lives on $10 for a Day."
Yeah,
Failed.
yeah.
So this video starts with Laura looking at her phone, and she's playing the game on her phone. And now we're
Apparently, it's a mobile app now.
yeah, we're seeing her through the phone again, like how
Yeah.
we were with Simon's camera. And now Sophie is directly talking to her, and Laura just seems to be like extremely compliant to what this little 8-bit Sophie is telling her to do. And basically,
Yeah, 'cause she was like sleeping, right? And it's just like, hey, get up.
yeah,
Or something like that,
it was
right?
like, time to play, let's go.
Yeah. It's like a pet.
But like she's like listening to Sophie talk, and she's like, yeah, go steal 10 pounds from your dad. And she's like, I don't want to do that. And she's like, it's just 10 pounds. Like,
Was
it's
it like
just
10,000 pennies?
yeah, it's only like 10,000 pennies or something.
Which is a callback to one of my
video,
videos.
yeah.
Sophie's like, 10 pounds. It's not that much. It's like 10,000 pennies.
yeah. And then she just like keeps repeating, burn it.
Burn it.
Yeah, she
Or, well,
takes
actually,
the
sorry.
money.
Let me move back a bit here. She finally gets Laura to go steal it. She just keeps saying the same thing, like, go take $10 from your dad. And finally, like, it's not like you can tell it's like the same voiceover clip every time it says it. And then like Laura finally goes and steals it. She gets in bed and she's like, that was stupid. I
Which
did
is
it. All right.
creepy to me how it's like the same audio clip over and over, because like I don't know about you guys, but like I was getting like I could tell it was the same audio clip. Like there was no change in like
The tone and stuff.
but I was getting like an irritated tone vibe.
Like increasingly irritated.
Yeah, where it's like just go take it. Just go take it. You know, like I was to like where I was getting like
Okay,
anxious.
fine. I'll go steal 10
like,
bucks from
I'll go-
Lori.
yeah,
Jesus.
I'll go steal from my wife. Okay. Yes, computer lady.
But yeah, so pretty much the end of this episode is when she burns the money. Like you see her like put the flame to the 10 pound or whatever, and then it just ends. That was your favorite video?
Just because it's a callback to the
Very
10,000
beginning.
pennies.
10
Okay.
pounds, the 10 pounds video.
It's only like 10,000 pennies.
Yeah.
And then we get to what is technically the
Don't
final.
fucking make fun of what I think my
I
favorite
didn't
video.
say anything. I was just curious, bruh.
I was trying to silently judge you, but my mouth thought differently.
I said the quiet thing out loud.
Anyways, so this is the final video as far as the uploads go. It says this one's called "I Can See You All." Basically, right off the bat, there's just fucking inaudible, like creepy noise, like talking that's happening, and I think it's Sophie, but it's hard to kind of tell. I'm not 100% on that.
I think it's supposed to be, but it's distorted. But yeah.
But then we like cut to what looks like someone filming like the weirdest, tiniest little TV monitor ever. And you hear this man introduce himself and he's like, I'm Howard Moore. and I'm from Kratos and
However you say
Industries,
it.
yeah. And this is your induction to changing the lives of men around the globe. And basically, all of a sudden, we see this fucking mutilated body, which right off the bat, I'm reading my thoughts right now from my notes, and it says possibly Simon, because it looks like fucking Simon. And then basically, we get directed. Thank you. We get directed towards Simon talking to someone about like how he's doing, and then we see that he's talking to what's her bitch ass Chloe.
What's her bitch ass? We need to come up with a Doug dictionary. We seriously,
Thesaurus for
I'm
Doug.
sorry to cut you off like this, but like we just went over this the other day with a couple of our friends about how like he says like hang a Ricky. Like we just need a Doug slang dictionary.
What's a hang a Ricky?
See, that's what I'm talking about.
Turn right, bruh. Hang a Ricky. Or take a Louie.
Yeah.
You know what? I can't even make fun of that because I'll be like, oh yeah, you have to turn around, pull a Yui Fatone. Like I'll just do dumb shit like that. Like,
Yeah, I get that from my dad. I'm like almost positive. But yeah, so
Ricky.
totally just killing the final video here. But
Sorry, Doug.
So yeah, like I said, Simon's talking to Chloe about how he's doing, and this is where we kind of piece together that Simon works for Kratos Industries along with Mark and Chloe, and basically they're talking about Mark, and like if you have any questions you can reach out to him and all this stuff. And then Simon starts talking about this like perfect woman to Chloe, and is basically referencing Sophie. And Chloe ends up being like, yeah, we'll code her as best as we can. We'll go with the reference photos you provided to us. And we cut to a very, very bloody flamingo. Because if I didn't mention this in the first place, which I don't think I did for some reason, Simon was talking to a flamingo, a stuffed flamingo.
yeah.
Okay, all right, I wasn't sure.
I remember hearing you say the word flamingo. I just wasn't sure the context.
For whatever reason, I was like, did I mention
he
that?
has like a whole like conversation with. He's like,
He has like
"Oh,
a 13-year-old's
yeah."
bedroom.
He's like,
girl's
you can't talk
bedroom.
to me, but no one likes me, and no one. It's always me do this, me do that. But when it comes to me needing people, they're never dear for me. Isn't that right, Mr. Flamingo? And he's like,
Yeah.
you can't talk here, Flamingo.
The fuck.
Well, yeah, that's where the uploads end.
Woo! And that's the end of I Am Sophie. Hit the outro button. Goodbye. JK, there's more.
There is more.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Kind of.
Let's just, before we, ramble jamble.
Ramble,
Just
jamble,
let
jamble.
me, let me talk about the Twitter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Real
Yeah,
quick.
go ahead.
Yeah,
Because
talk-
that might
talk
clear a
twatter
few
to me.
things up. So you can find a Twitter. There's a Twitter. It's at I Am Sophie Real. You can still find it. It's there.
Not making it up.
But here's the relative genius of this ARG, if you want to call it that.
I don't know what to call this.
Unfiction?
Yeah, it's an unfiction.
The Twitter actually came before the YouTube and everything. The Twitter has been live for like a couple months beforehand, just saying bougie shit, retweeting like Kim Kardashian, like entertainment news, and just like all these like influencer things. And then that's when you finally get like the YouTube drops and everything. It's pretty basic stuff, nothing more than just like links to the YouTube page and like other retweets of like fucking like Chanel and like Gucci and things like that to make it look like a bougie person. It's not until like I would say close to the end of the Twitter stuff that you start to get weird shit. Like you start to get a tweet that says, "I finally got access to this account. Do not follow the Instagram account. Working on the YouTube account now. Hashtag I can see you." And then you get another one that says, "This is exactly what it wants. Have you been watching? Do you even know what's happening?" And it's an image from YouTube saying, "Spread the word, you're trending." So it's kind of like it wants you to view these videos.
Yep.
There's more of them that say, it gets to the point where even like it's trying to interact with Laura, like the game itself has taken over the Twitter account a little bit, in my opinion, because you get messages that or tweets that say, "Are you still watching, Laura? Are you still here? Please talk to me. Please answer me. I will make this right." stop. And then those poor people, their admiration was misplaced. And then I'm so sorry, Laura. And then you get other ones that say, new and old, it begins 130222021.
Oh my God, I'm so happy you mentioned that one.
Mm-hmm. You get more that just say, you are owed everything. And then another tweet in big O caps that just say, how do I change profile pic? Banner? And then you get another one that says, all right, never mind. Oh my God, I'm channeling Ripsaw.
You really are.
All right, never mind. I'll come back to it. I'll text a mate and get back to you guys. Fucking follow, all right? Good shit coming your way. And then you get a link to a YouTube page called Maxstream Pranks. And it says, Twitter, absolutely no help, but finally got this damn profile pic changed. Go subscribe. If you go to that YouTube page, there are 2 videos. It's a guy in a fucking Ninja Brian costume, essentially. He's just a guy dressed as a dumb ninja. And he's like, oh, I'm prank master. I'm going to go prank some people. And then it shows like him just like walking through the park, and he bumps into Simon.
Yep.
And Simon's just like, hey, fucking watch your walking, you asshole. Like, look at all this space. And he's like, I'm going to go prank this guy. I found out where he lives, and he's like filming Simon in his house, and he's like smashing his shit outside his house. He's like, oh, he left his back door open. And then it shows him fucking killing Simon.
Yep.
It shows the images that we've already seen of a bloody Simon on the floor and the bloody flamingo. And then everyone in the fucking comments is just like, great prank, bro. Awesome prank. And then the Twitter is retweeting. Like, people are just like, awesome prank, dude. You fucking pranked him. You got him, bro. Sweet prank. And then the second video is where he murders a cow, and he his kappa was detated.
His kappa was detated.
He decapitates this cow, and then instead of a cow's head, he pulls up a horse's head, which we haven't touched on yet. We touched
Horse
on
decapitation.
Yes, we touched on it briefly there, where horse decapitation was mentioned as the video that Sophie was like, oh my God, I can't believe she posted that.
Yeah.
There is a lost episode of I Am Sophie that got deleted from YouTube. And the lost episode is Laura decapitating a horse head. So Sophie in the beginning is reacting to Laura uploading a video of her decapitating a horse head. And this is referencing that. This Max Stream stuff is referencing that. And then we get a tweet of that doctor from one of Doug's last video, the doctor on the TV. And the tweet says, just got this old as fuck instructional VHS with some device. Gonna have to have some fun with this. And that's really all you get out of the tweet. And it says, Howard Moore, cunt. So that's kind of where the Twitter's
abound.
at. Yeah, that's kind of where the Twitter's at. But that introduces us to kind of I want to say the finale, but a little bit of like more into the story of I Am Sophie, because now we're introduced to this other YouTube channel, this Max Stream Pranks.
It gives some more depth to some of the side characters,
Yeah,
for sure, and
yeah.
makes it just makes it better.
We find out how Simon died,
Yes.
essentially.
Yeah, more or less. Is that it for your Twitter? Okay. The last thing that I
There's
want to
more,
talk
but that's
about.
the important stuff. Then go look at it. I Am Sophie Real.
So there's 2 things on the Instagram. Most of these posts literally just go like shot for shot, slide for slide with the videos, just to help like promote them, as an influencer might do. There are 2 that are a little different for me. So there are some very, very strange, glitchy ones before this next one that I'm going to read comes up. But she posts an image, and the caption is a bunch of, it's hexadecimal. It's a hexadecimal code. And when you translate it, it simply says, I'm Sophie, of course. I'm 22. I live in London, England. I've lived here all my life, so doing pretty well. I'm an only child, and I live here with my dad. My mom passed away when I was 3. She was involved in an accident, but my dad's been really distant, even if he gets in my head sometimes. So, once again, more of the same. This is kind of like highlighting the ARG elements of this of I Am Sophie. So it's technically a nonfiction, but it definitely has some ARG elements to it that you can follow along with if you want. But the real treasure that I found yesterday very late at night because it was not there earlier in the day. And it is it's a post. Sorry, not yesterday, 2 days ago. It's a post from the I Am Sophie Instagram account. And it's a picture of, who's that? Is that Laura? I can't.
That's Sophie. You're talking about.
Oh yeah, no, it is Sophie. I see the birthmark.
Yep.
And it's got a caption that says something old and something new, and then the only hashtag attached to this one, which is very, very different from the rest of her posts. All of her posts have all the fucking influencer tags and everything attached to them. This only has the tag "May the 4th be with you," which is tomorrow.
But also, new works.
Huh?
Did you? So I just saw
that.
Okay,
We'll talk about that later.
Okay.
I
All right.
know what that is.
All right, all right, all
But
right.
so the
Yeah.
caption for this one is something old and something new, which goes way back to the very beginning of this entire series on the Twitter, where she mentioned there was something in one of the tweets you read about something old and new.
Yep.
So it's kind of full circle here, but pay attention. May the 4th be with you. I can't tell if she's just wishing everyone a happy May 4th early, or
and when you're listening to this, it'll
already be
past,
out, so
but-
you'll know more than we do when this comes out. But for right now, it's super fucking exciting to see as we are literally researching something to talk about with you guys. They're in the
A
midst
new
of that
post.
happening. Yeah, there's a new Instagram post from I Am Sophie. So let's see what comes of it. I hope there's more because this has been a fan-fucking-tastic little project.
Right. I mean, I can go over her shop real quick.
Yeah, go
It's-
for it,
It's
man.
nothing. Like literally, you
What's
go
the
on
website
there.
for it?
It's just fuck. I don't even know
I
because
think
it's so
it's shop
stupid.
I Am Sophie.
Yeah, it's shopiamsophie.com. The only real thing that matters about it is like you click it. It's got like about, home, and like products and whatever.
It's a very basic site.
Whenever you hover over an image, it's just like a terrible image of like a fucked up face. But if you go to the actual clothing part and hover over the images, or the about section, I should say, there's a picture of Sophie. And then if you hover over it and go back, that face shows up. But if you hover over it again, it's a picture of Laura.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So that's really all there is on that.
The little
and then,
Easter eggs are fucking great.
yeah, and
Now-
then the only other thing was that that QR code that we saw in one of the videos. It
Yeah.
takes you to another page that's like
Yeah,
a
yeah.
string of numbers.
not
Basically,
over.
yeah, it's not over. It's the numbers in the text are actually an A1Z26 cipher.
Yeah.
But the hexadecimal or the binary is binary. It's pretty straightforward as
Yeah.
far as that goes, because everyone knows what a A1Z26 cipher is for sure.
Yes. I
Well, it's
know.
A is 1, Z is 26. It's a 1 through 26 alphanumeric.
Oh, that's what the dingus is in that fucking -44 cult are using now
Oh.
because they're dummies. And they
Clearly
think
beca-
that's some like weird hidden message thing. That's a thing for another day. Whatever.
Yeah. That's our next community cults episode. Or
Here's the
hometown
fun
horrors,
part.
whatever.
Yeah, here's the fun part. What do you guys think the fucking plot of this thing is? Because boy, am I still not sure. And I think they did that on purpose a little bit. And you know, we're gonna kind of after the I want us to explain what you guys think the plot is, and then afterwards we'll kind of like pull the curtain back. I know Doug, you have a little bit more
Yeah, yeah.
information, and I have a little bit more too. But I want to go over that a little bit after.
Okay.
So
Go. You can start us off.
I think what we're looking at here is this video game is sort of like a virus-esque thing that takes you over and makes you this Sophie persona. Like the Sophie that we see in the beginning, this blonde woman.
Your
Played the-
persona.
Your persona, yes. Your Soferna. This blonde Sophie that you see in the beginning, she is the one that she played the game before, became Sophie. Now we're seeing Laura playing the game. She becomes the new Sophie. That's kind of what I'm getting. I mean, there's a lot of like,
And then Simon played the game and he died.
yeah, right.
They were like, nah.
But we do get a lot of like video game references and everything. Like in the Max Extreme things, he's if you look a little bit more into the videos, he like beats up a homeless man and puts like this weird like gadget into the homeless man's head, and that homeless man's able to see this like VR world. So a lot of and in that VR world is this like 3D image of Sophie. So like you're getting a lot of weird video game like implant virusy themes.
Yep.
You're getting, in my opinion, like I mentioned before with Laura in her room, you're getting these like abusive relationship theme things where like the game like takes over your world and like becomes like it tells you what to do. It is your world.
It's a command prompt for you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Thank you. Yes. Yes. Yes.
I just rustled Mike's jimmies a little bit with that
That's
one.
perfect. Thank you. But that's and I'm probably wrong because there's a lot of other shit that says otherwise, but looking at it in the most like simplistic way,
Yeah.
which is the way I look at things because I'm a dingus.
You're the epitome of Occam's razor.
Yes.
Yeah.
When you hear hooves, think horses, not zebras. Done. But that's what I think it is. It's some weird video game virus that's infecting people's brains, making them these bougie millionaire
Boss bitch.
So I'm going to
influencers.
say I'll have you go next because mine kind of heavily, my opinion on it all applies to a lot of what I listened to when I watched the interview with the creator. So
You basically know because you heard it.
And I watched the same interview, but like I still have my own thoughts on it because I feel like the interviewer, the creator, still wasn't all that sure.
yes, and that's why I said mine is like kind of based on what he said because he didn't like straight out say this is what it is. He like kind of alluded to a lot of different things.
Exactly.
that happened.
Okay.
It's like the show Lost. They just did it as it went. There's no good
much.
ending. Yeah. What do you think?
What I think is going on here is that Sophie is literally so it's in the same vein as Mike, but not quite as like hyper realism, I guess. My take on this is that Sophie herself is like an AI. And these little things that what Max Stream pranks when he puts the fucking thing on that dude's head, I think that's just like it turns you into an NPC for the game. And so when Lara gets the game, she's actually controlling Sophie, which is why the text and everything in the video game is identical to what's being said in real life in the videos. So honestly, what I think is happening is that, yes, the virus thing is real. When you play the game, it kind of sucks you in. I think what it's doing is it's either choosing its new replacement for Sophie, or it chooses people, it attempts to choose them, finds out that, nope, this is not going to work, and then they die. Or so the game has somebody go kill them, aka Max Stream.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I think is happening here. It's a big AI development by Kratos Industries, and this is like this new, like Doug was saying about bringing to life this templated perfect girl that this guy wants to bring back. I think this was a way to like basically make sure that she doesn't go anywhere. Like she lasts forever.
See, I thought that girl that died in the plane crash, that Sophie, was the personality that they use in the game.
That's what, yes.
And they download into you essentially to make you
That's
her.
We're on
so
the-
she's living forever.
we're on the
right.
same. The only difference between what you and I think is like
Mine's in real world, yours in the
In the
virtual
video game,
world. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Dungle?
So the way I've interpreted this, and this was after watching the creator's video, like I said, is once you kind of put all these pieces together, the way it kind of feels is that there's this weird switch in the middle of the series where Sophie becomes this like scared little billionaire girl to menacing computer tech thing that we're seeing, right? But if we take everything and we reverse like the way it went, but let's look at Simon. So Simon
died
immediately. Well, yeah. So Simon dies, right? No. So he gets the text from Mark saying, "Hey, I found this weird malware." Right now, they both work for Kratos Industries. Kratos Industries literally makes female companions for men.
Not sexual, by the way.
Not
That's
sexual,
confirmed
yes.
by the creator.
It
It's
is just purely companionship.
Yes.
That's what that company does.
Okay.
So that
It's
being
always about the
said,
men. Men run society.
Mark found malicious software
Right.
and then gave it to Simon.
Yep.
Ooh.
And then Simon
Holy shit!
Asked
All of my
Kratos
hairs just
Industries
stood up.
to take Sophie, a real life girl who died in a plane crash, and code her into their software. which he then, I think, uploads the malicious software into, which then overtook everything that was going on with Kratos Industries. Basically, what we see as Lara playing the video game, all the beginning shots that we're seeing is the video game.
Holy fucker.
And then when you look at the very end of the whole series where Lara's having her whole episode and whatnot, it's because the video game basically made her sick, like very sick.
Yeah.
And the reason I say sick and not, well,
Not possessed.
not possessed is just from the way her vlogs go through, like everything.
Yeah.
And then obviously we see Simon watching it all play out because he's the one that like started this shit.
Yeah. That's why.
I got like Westworld vibes or something.
Kinda,
A little
yeah.
bit, yeah.
Just from watching the interview with the creator, that's kind of where I formulated my idea for the whole thing.
Yes. I'd like to change my answer, Alex.
So I don't know for sure if that's the way they intended it to be. It's the way that like the creator just talked about stuff. So
Speaking of the creator,
real quick, just so everybody knows, this guy, the creator, his name is Tom Ransom. He does a MMA YouTube channel,
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
We know that
Boxing
stuff.
gloves.
So this was like his first big idea.
was
and
he Lewis?
No, but
That wasn't.
all
I,
that shit-
I only
all the
saw one
shit
picture of Tom, and I thought it was the same guy that played Lewis.
But
no,
all the
Lewis?
shit in that scene,
the boxing instructor.
Oh no.
Okay, never mind.
they filmed that whole scene in Tom's whatever the fuck you call it, gym. I
his
guess.
gym,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, so and then Dan Boland is the guy who plays Ben. He's the co-creator. So those two made the whole story. Basically, Tom called him up one day and was like, I have an idea for this thing that I want to do. It's like a YouTube horror. I rented a jet plane. And that's pretty much what he said. And he made a joke. He's like, yeah, if you don't rent the jet plane, you're not serious about it. So, but basically, yeah, they go through and they talk about all this stuff. And like, they talk about the tilted room and how like it switched from like real life to fantasy life and all this stuff. And like when he mentioned that, that's when I was like, holy shit. Like, I think the first part is the video game, but we're seeing it IRL.
Yeah.
And like we're getting the first glimpse of it, and then now we know the story while she's watching it. And like I don't know, the whole Laura part is like it's really still hard for me to pinpoint like what exactly happened.
This interview is on a channel called N-Bird, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
N-B-U-R-D.
N-Bird is the one that interviewed them.
N-B-U-R-D, yeah.
I guess he knows some of the people that worked on it or whatever. But
Nice.
But we also learned that fucking Laura's dad works for Kratos Industries as well.
So here, I guess we can kind of say a little bit. The creator kind of announced that I Am Sophie is done.
It's just he's like
it's done. Unfortunately, I can't keep it going.
Yeah, he literally is like so the whole Max pranks thing. He said that he wanted to make that that YouTube channel like a whole arc to build more plot point and more stories. But he had like he started getting like basically like all these other projects that he wanted to do as well, and he kind of just said, I just kind of shit the bed and said, fuck it.
Yeah, I Am Sophie is technically finished, but not at the same time.
Yes.
We've seen the ending, but we don't know how to get there because it's not made.
Yeah, the true ending is from the creator's mouth. Is the like what denotes the end of the story is when we see the person sitting in the chair blow their brains out.
Yeah.
That's apparently the ending, but it's
There's
so
no way to
loosely,
get there.
yeah,
It's
like-
very loose connections to
So
get there.
we can kind of say I Am Sophie is not complete and left to your own interpretation for the time being.
especially
100%.
after the fucking Instagram thing that came out 2 days ago.
That I have an explanation for.
Oh,
and you're
shit.
probably not going to be too happy.
yeah,
I-
yeah. I didn't want to.
So
Oh,
they have the guy that created it has a. I'm going to tell it because it's
Okay,
short.
go ahead.
They have a filming company called Heart Squid Films, and that was just promotion for the shit they're working
Yeah.
on. That's all it was. Yeah.
well, my boner died pretty
Yeah,
fast.
but I mean, they're working on more shit, which is cool because I will
Yeah.
say, watch I Am Sophie because the production quality is so
It's fucking
good.
It slaps.
Yeah.
Everything is good. The actors and everyone and it obviously like they know how to show fucking fear. Like when Laura's like playing the game and you can see like she doesn't want to be playing the game, you feel that fucking like anxiety and fear.
And that's my thing with some fucking like horror projects. I don't want to say just movies because it exists everywhere. Is those little
If you can
detailed
emote,
reactions?
yeah.
that is what makes or breaks it for me.
If you can emote, I'm in.
exactly,
I'm fucking in.
if you're very obviously acting, especially in horror, I'm out. Like
Yeah.
you're pulling me out of it.
But Tom, my guy, good job.
Good fucking job.
Very good.
Like, and all of you that were like a part of this, like, I doubt anyone that was a part of I Am Sophie is listening to this, but if you are, fucking like get in contact with us, DM us on any of our socials.
your dick.
Oh,
suck your
also,
dick.
I forgot to mention this, but
Yeah.
I Am Sophie won an award
Yes,
at
in Rhode Island.
Yeah.
They won a film festival award in
Yeah.
Rhode Island.
I forgot about that. God damn.
Yeah, I mean that's I Am Sophie, and again,
Yeah.
if anyone that's listening is has any connections or like was a part of I Am Sophie, fucking DM us because we would love to get you on to talk a little bit more about it and like just shoot the shit.
This
hash
is
some shit
actually
out.
rapidly over the course of 2 days become one of my favorite things
Yeah.
we've covered.
You're welcome.
I had tried to watch this one back when we started doing our whole thing.
Yeah.
And I watched the first episode because on every fucking list that you look at online, it's like on the top 10 list and I was just like, I watched the first video and I was like,
No,
absolutely not.
fucking not.
I think this one is up there as one of the better ones, only because there's an official ending, but no way to get to it. So you are left to your own interpretation.
Yeah, you have to
Every
build
single-
that fucking road
Yeah,
yourself.
everything that we've covered like has a beginning and an
Oh,
end.
that's perfect for us, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
right.
fucking
You
figured
fucking
it out.
figured it out.
yeah.
We got there.
We found the thing
But-
we should have covered.
But like
first.
it's a lot of the things that we've covered that has a beginning and an end. This one it does, but it's very murky.
It's got a couple endings, a couple beginnings,
And you can
about
theorize your
13
day off. Yeah, you can
other
theorize your
things.
ass off, man.
Yeah.
Like, anyway,
shit.
I'm going to go ahead and say linktree.com/deludipod, patreon.com/deludipod. You can find us on all our socials at deludipod. YouTube, don't look under the internet. It is busting as usual. If you go to the Linktree, you can find our merch site. We are going to be launching our spring
collection.
Our spring collection soon. You can call it that, I guess, but just some things are going away, other things are coming in.
the Spronk collection.
Spronk collection. Rate us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, please, because that is how other people see our shit and how we can keep growing and giving you better podcasts.
Tell your friends about us.
Right now, we're at 124 reviews on Spotify, which is awesome. But
Nice.
our Apple ones haven't moved much, which I'm not, complaining about. I'm just saying, like, if you can, tell your friends to review us, even if they don't listen to us.
Give
Lie
us
to
that
them.
clicky clacky.
Lie to your friends and tell them that we're like a fucking fashion podcast
so
or something. They'll never know.
Mike, not you, Mike.
Loey.
Yeah, he's been describing us to other people as Lapoda Light, just for
Sure.
internet
Yeah,
weirdness. So
But
I
yeah,
find that
just-
very flattering. If you could tell that to other people, that'd be great.
If you can get us a review, you'd be helping us out tremendously. Or if you could, again, go to our Patreon, patreon.com/deludipod, or buy me a beer at buymeabeer.com/deludipod.
Buy me a coffee.
Or buy me a coffee. Buy me a coffee.com/deludipod, but it would be for beer. Yeah, I just want you guys to find a Sophie near you and kiss her tooth and be like, that's from the Deludi gang.
and she'd be like, "Oh yeah, okay,
Yeah, she'll understand.
yeah."
Yeah.
Sophie, if you're out there, please be very paranoid that somebody that looks like or sounds like Mike is going to walk up to you and suck on your tooth. This is your warning. Your one and only.
This is just
Well, I guess if
mine.
Well, I guess if we're all giving Sophie a shout out, if your name is Sophie, or you are I Am Sophie,
Sophie's
take out your peen
Obviously.
and your bean
Obviously.
and slap it on another person named Sophie.
How have I not made a Sophie's Choice?
I don't know how that didn't
Yeah.
come up
Goodbye,
once.
everybody. We love you.
Don't look under the internet.
Hey, I'm gonna apologize right here at the start of this message because, you probably hear a lot of traffic and shit, because I'm on a walk with my dog right now, but that's not the point of this phone call. I wanted to call you guys and tell you about the time a couple of years ago when a Wendigo followed me around, like actually, literally. So, to preface, I guess let's start with this. I'm a Native American person, and I practice Native American culture. So, a while ago, like a couple years, like before the pandemic even started, like probably 2017, if not, if not earlier, I was at a sweat lodge, and it was really emotionally taxing for me. So I was in a really vulnerable state. And where we do these sweat lodges, we do them on actual, like, native lands. And after that, shit started getting weird. I mean, I went home from the sweat lodge, like I do, and that night I couldn't sleep. I kept hearing things walking around my room, and, like, weird shit like that. You know, I would hear things on the roof, even though, you know, like, it was an apartment building, so only things on the roof are people walking around, but it definitely didn't sound like people walking around. But yeah, no, as time passed on, I started thinking, like, maybe this is something from the sweat lodge. So I did research, and basically the first thing that my research turned up was Wendigos. And soon after I had started digging into Wendigos, I started seeing the Wendigos. God, thinking about it still scares me, to be honest. But, like, I'll try to describe it. It was maybe 9 or 10 feet tall. And it was, like, thick and just practically just skin and bones. It was dressed in, I mean, semi-traditional native garb, mostly just animal skins and what have you. And the eyes, Jesus, they were just these, like, gaping black holes. It looked like they were bleeding, but it definitely weren't. It wasn't blood. And it was awful. I would hear it taunting me, like, every fucking night. And, man, it started following me outside of my house. You know, I'd be on the fucking subway, and I'd just see that shit in the tunnels. It was horrible. It followed me everywhere. I don't really know what you guys are going to do with this voicemail, but I just thought it would be cool to tell my story about the time of Wendigo.